from a woman facing charges for creating a disturbance and threatening a security guard in her apartment.
Okay, was threatening our security guard with a knife.
Was doing what?
Threatening our security guard with a knife.
Your Honor, I have not seen the video. The document states she came downstairs with a knife, claiming that predator in her apartment.
To another failing to pay rent after causing serious property damage.
Hey, what's your name?
Janine,
Okay, and where are we on this?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $3,831.83.
Let's watch Judge Simpson handle different cases, starting with Ms. Jacqueline, who threatened a security guard with a knife while making crazy alarming claims about a predator in her home.
Jackie Snyder Haldar on behalf of her Quasbury complainant.
All right, and where are we on this? We're settled.
We're not settling.
Oh.
And we actually have a new notice to quit that we found out about. So,
What do you mean?
my suggestion would be to set this current case for trial. And then to figure out what's going on. with it.
What's the issue?
So the latest issue is, this case was threatening our security guard with a knife.
Was doing what?
Threatening our security guard with a knife.
Your Honor, I have not seen the video. The document states she came downstairs with a knife, claiming that predator in her apartment. And that's all I have. So they're gonna hold me the video. I'm sure she's.
That's a new issue.
That is-
What about our
So there's
old?
a new-
What about our? Got it. What about our old issue?
Our old issue is still persistent. There's still plumbing issues that continues. We are looking for there's
And she doesn't want to move, I take it.
Well, Your Honor, you know what's going on with Arbor One and the state of apartments in this county at this point.
Oh, we're not gonna blame the state account, the apartments on that.
She's called Housing Bureau for Seniors. She's been being harassed by management, and trust me, she would love to be. But she just doesn't have any place to go at this point.
Is she subsidized?
Are not her fault. And not that.
and we continue to plumbing issues are our fault and this new drainage, et cetera. The plumbing people have been out there several times. But they weren't there before, et cetera.
Your Honor. The case, I can definitely go to trial.
I know what you're suggesting, but I'm not doing it. I can hear you. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is why. Well, let's look at it this way. If it doesn't turn out in her favor, where is she gonna go? I mean, I'm trying to be pragmatic about this.
Actually, Your Honor, there is nothing available at this point. She's called Housing for Seniors, called new development, there's school right there as well.
And where is she here?
No, she had a cancer, CAT scan this morning. I spoke to the clerk. She was- it was okay, here today.
Has there been a jury requested on this or no?
Yes, sir.
All right, then is everybody going to be ready to go February 7th for final settlement conference?
Yes, for final settlement comment.
February 7th.
Jury selection would be at 10 on the 10th.
So, final settlement on the 7th. 9 a.m.
Yes,
And jury section on the 10th at what time?
8:30.
8. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You guys need to figure out how to resolve this. Was that a 7-day on the new notice?
Yes, It expires on the 31st, so.
Of this month?
Yes, so it needs to be coming February.
Was there a police report done on that?
There's videos from the security cam. I do not believe our security guards called. Oh, you said,
You did a couple links,
okay.
but I don't know. I'll have to see if there was a report, Judge.
Was that Ipsy City or?
Yeah, it's in Wayne City.
What I will do on that, so that expires on the 31st. And are you then? You're gonna seek to file that on the 3rd?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I will be putting it on the hearing.
Oh, joy. So then what will happen is I'm looking at expedited scheduling on that. One way or another, so that somehow or another, these cases may ride together in some way. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This time we have Ms. Janita Mills, struggling with excessive unpaid house rent despite the poor housing conditions of her apartment.
Hey, what's your name?
Janine,
Okay, and where are we on this?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $3,831.83. I understand that there is $3,430 in escrow.
I'm sorry?
My understanding is that there's $3,430 in escrow.
What do you have?
There is, I gave them.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Because did something get paid recently?
Yeah, she posted it today.
Today. Okay, that's why. Okay. So how much is in escrow?
$3,430 is my understanding.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know how this price is increasing, maybe some late fees, I don't know, but as you know, I do want out of this lease. Because I have proof of all of this in my phone, Melissa has it and everything, not only the mice in my units. So we have not had no Christmas, no Thanksgiving, my family have not had to take care of anything because of the mice. To this day, I'm still out of heat, partially in my unit. The heater that they left in the beginning is still there.
Are you willing to let her out of her lease? You know.
I don't have information related to any early termination.
When is your lease up?
This is up in July. I've already been approved elsewhere. I'm letting Section 8 go because it serves me no purpose anymore, and I'm just trying to move forward and get somewhere and get settled
If it could be arranged, when would you move?
within a week or two. Week.
Is there any way you can call your client to see, or she's here? No.
And there's black substance that has been coming through my vents that has gotten on all of my
Ma'am,
furniture.
ma'am. So what do you want to have happen? I mean,
I just want out of this lease. I'm hoping I can get some of this money back in escrow. I've never been in this situation, so I don't know if that's possible. Cause I have to pay over $1,800 to move into the new place. This has inconvenienced me a lot.
well, right now you're in the middle of a lease. Otherwise, you're gonna head to trial. I don't know. You're gonna have to make decisions as to what you want to do. They're gonna want to be paid. If you terminate your lease early, what would actually end up happening, you'd have additional costs for the termination of the lease. So you're not going to get it all. You're not going to get everything that you want. So the question is going to be whether or not they're willing, I guess, first of all, to let you out of the lease, because if they're not, then it looks like we're just headed for trial.
Yeah, cause I can't live, there's mice. It's a disaster.
And Your Honor, I just have to address some of the items that Ms. Mills has brought up. These have all been addressed by maintenance. We have records, there's emails confirming what's been done, so I think that this.
All right. All right, why don't we pass the matter? Let's see whether or not they're gonna do it. I would say this, ma'am, that what's your balance currently, council? That's owing,
$3,831.83.
and that's because the late fee clicked in. So that last late fee can do something with that. And she's got 34, so we're about almost 400 different. Or thereabouts, if my math is right. All right. Ma'am, I don't know if they're gonna let you out. Let me pass it. And I think what's owed, well, let me put it to you this way. If they let you out, I'm not gonna order that any of this, the escrow is gonna have to go to the plaintiff. And there's an additional amount that needs to be paid. So I'm just letting you know where my mind is on it. So what I might suggest is that you talk to Ms. Kazari, see what you can work out, if they're willing to let you out. I don't know if they are or not, but all right, I'll pass it and let you guys talk. I'm sorry. Okay. So, almost afraid to ask. Hugh, Zanin, you guys ready on anything, or?
I think you just have to set a trial date. I think she asked.
You know I don't do that. Who?
No, what else to do? No. Yeah, she's talking to her client, trying to go get her.
No, let her talk.
Oh, he was. Oh, you're talking to me? Or her? I thought you were talking to me.
I'm pretty sure you're talking to me.
Sometimes I just talk to anybody that'll listen. I tried to talk to Alan this morning. He wasn't listening, so I.
So I actually had a couple of them, council and I.
Oh, what? Oh, see, Hugh, I was talking to you, man, and I knew Zanin was going to do that. Go ahead.
You missed me on Friday. I know you did.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. All right. So Sycamore Meadows, how many does she have?
7.
On Sycamore Meadows? That's a lot.
It is, but we really, there's only 2 that you have to do when you can.
Yeah. So you want to just get rid of those files, or what do you want me?
I think there's assistance on them.
What?
I think they're pending assistance or
On 5 of those? Okay.
One's judge.
Unlike Ms. Janita Mills, Mr. Steve Dawson is facing foreclosure on his home after a contentious divorce. Let's watch this.
What's your name?
Jenna Dawson.
You're Jenna Dawson.
Steve Dawson.
All right. And how much is owing, Ms. Stormbush?
With court costs, Your Honor, $2,321.47. Your Honor, my office was in communication with Miss Jenna Dawson. She had reached out with a status regarding her case. And my understanding, and I will defer to Mr. and Ms. Dawson to verify this, but I believe they intend to vacate, and I believe they're intending to surrender the home back to the lien holder effective February 1.
Is that all correct?
Yeah, I had sent the attorney a letter requesting that they leave Roxanne and I as fully responsible for the lot rent and anything that occurs with the property, because I thought that when Steve and I divorced last year and he left the house to me, that would absolve him of the responsibility of it, and that doesn't appear to be the case. So that was what I had reached out to them to see if we could work an agreement on, and they said that that wasn't an appropriate resolution. So I don't know what else to do. Either way, the house is getting foreclosed on. The financiers are coming to pick it up starting the 1st. They said it could happen anytime after the 1st. But I gave them permission on the 1st because that's when we'll have all our stuff out.
Okay, so you'll have everything out by the 1st. All right. So here's what, Jody, do you want to say anything?
Other than we tried to get some paperwork done to get my name off of it, but since we couldn't get a hold of Roxanne, we haven't been able to do anything without the third person
We're
able to
like
sign.
trapped in this house. We can't surrender it. We can't sell it. We can't do anything to get out of it, like in a way that saves.
So hold
our
on, the
credit.
two of you were married, you bought the house. Is that what happened?
Yes.
We were married and we bought the house with Roxanne.
Got it. Okay. So it's almost like you're kind of, and now you're divorced.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like, yeah,
We thought divorcing would at least I knew I would be stuck on it with Roxanne, but we thought it would separate him from me and Roxanne, and it didn't. And so now we're just like,
yeah, divorce doesn't solve all the problems that it should. Just put it that way. All right. So here's what I'll do. I think the best way to do this is there's nothing for me to try on this case. So I'm going to grant them a judgment for possession with any redemption amount, if you do decide to redeem it, of $23,21.47 with a writ issue in 10 days, which will be after the February 1st period. They could take possession of the unit, but it sounds like it's being foreclosed on anyway. So,
yeah,
okay.
is coming to pick it up.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Thank
just
you,
one
folks.
thing to clarify,
Yes.
with respect to Roxanne Stein, did you want to include that in the hearing judgment, or do you want that entered as a default separate?
Oh, that should, as to Ms. Stein, that should be by default.
Here's Mr. Dan facing charges for unpaid rent while dealing with vision complications.
And how much does he owe in this case? This is basically a writ, but
Yes, Your Honor, I believe that there was a motion to set aside a default judgment.
yes.
I have,
And go ahead.
yes, I have a total balance owing currently of $2,319.91. Escrow has not yet been received and applied to the ledger. I know it was released.
Which in escrow is 1510.
Yes,
What I have.
so it would cover the judgment.
It would cover the judgment. So what I'm going to do, when are you going to pay the other part of that? You know?
Yeah, see real good. Yeah, I was planning to pay. Remember what I've been charged with? That's why we was in the court. If I don't want to go into too much of detail, I'm just going to get straight to the point. I've been charged for somebody's responsibility, the damage they did when I moved in, which is Peninsula Place is aware of. As far as my rent, everything been there. And right now I can't see because my vision, my glasses broke and I got a headache. I can't see without it.
Okay,
So,
here's what I'm going to do.
I have this one that worked, but I don't want.
I'm gonna set aside the default judgment. And I'll adjourn this out. I'm gonna release the escrow to plaintiff. Thought I already done that.
Your Honor, I don't know if you're getting to this, so I apologize, but I think Mr. Diane was to file a written answer. I don't know if that's been done yet.
It has.
I can't because you see, I got my other glasses here and
You
I wear
can't
glasses.
see.
I can't see. And if I put like this one, it's like in the
Is there
shade.
something? When do you think that will improve for you?
I gotta go. I'm trying to see if a doctor could actually take me right now. See.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. We'll proceed forward. He is to get an answer in. He was supposed to have an answer in before now, but there was a judgment that was entered instead because he had not filed an answer. So I'm going to indicate I need an answer by next week. So if you have to get somebody to help you, write that out.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna order an answer by the 31st.
Okay.
By the 30th, the day before. I'll adjourn this out to January 31st,
Your Honor,
2025 at 2 p.m. Yes, ma'am.
would it make sense to put this as a settlement, to get this just to a final settlement conference? I think.
Well, I'd like an answer before I get there, which is my
Understood.
problem. But that'd be the next step, and it won't delay it because of when my dates are. So we're gonna.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Two, like if they can show what damage, because I was trying to get the file, like you asked me to get leisure. I went to the office. Every time I go, they always send me to somebody else. Nobody.
Okay,
seems to
we'll
be-
figure it out.
Okay.
All right.
If I can
Get your eye taken care of, get an answer to us. We'll release the escrow and then we'll figure it out next week. Okay.
Where's that question mark document?
Pardon?
Do I get that in the front?
The
Where I gotta get that? Yeah.
an answer form?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just ask them for one and they got a form answer.
Thank you, Honor.
All right. Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You
Mr.
too.
Diane, you can call our office and get our contact information so that if you need a ledger or anything, then you can.
Oh, I have. I went inside too. Nobody can seems to help.
Well,
but-
go to that's the attorney talking to you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that's the number that's on your paperwork.
Okay.
Finally, this last case centers on Ms. Nancy, facing serious issues with her landlord over unpaid rent and property damage.
All right. Go ahead. I mean,
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry, the actual date we're putting this on the record needs to be changed. So it's not the 10th today, so we could just change it to the 28th.
in the first paragraph.
Thank you. Your Honor, essentially this case is being dismissed without prejudice, subject to these terms. The outstanding balance that's owed to plaintiff by defendants is $27,482. That amount includes support costs. Defendants may retain possession of the lease premises through the end of their lease term, provided they comply with the following. They shall pay their monthly rent plaintiff timely commencing on February 1st, 2025. In addition to the monthly rent, defendant shall pay the outstanding arrearage of $27,482 to plaintiff as follows. They're going to pay $70 per month beginning on February 15th, continuing on each month thereafter, until the outstanding balance is paid in full. Defendants are going to act in good faith to pay off the outstanding balance sooner if possible. Plaintiff will issue a credit in the amount of $3,900 flooding and water damage at the lease premises, provided that defendants comply with the terms of the order. The credit is going to be issued, it's going to be split into two. So $1,950 is going to be credited to defendant's ledger within 7 days of entry of this order. And the remaining $1,950 credit will only be issued at the end of the payment plan if defendants have complied. Defendants are also have agreed to comply with the terms of the lease. In the event that they fail to comply with the terms of the order, plaintiff would be entitled to an immediate judgment for possession with a money judgment and an order of eviction to issue immediately upon the filing of an affidavit of noncompliance with the court without hearing or notice to defendants via mail to the lease premises. Defendants are waiving the 14-day notice of objection period. 56-day rule is being waived. The time for requesting issuance of the order of eviction shall be extended from 56 days to either 365 days, the date of entry of this order, or until the payment plan contained in paragraph 3B of the order is completed in full, whichever date is later. Terms of the lease agreement remains in full force and effect. Neither party is waiving any claims or rights of the lease. Having contained in the order should be construed to be admission or finding of fault for either party. You could explain the 3-day rule.
And folks, is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Specifically, Ms. Kipka, because she's the named party. And I would advise you that you would have 3 business days to think about this. You believe that there's some legal reason, some confusion on your part, some right you didn't assert. You'd have to file a motion with the court within that time frame. You understand that? That doesn't mean I would grant it, but you have the right to file that motion. I will sign off on the conditional order dismissal I would only note for the record that there, in terms of its enforcement, because the furniture works was not represented by council, there may be issues with that should this not be complied with. However, I would also note that because of this being set today for a final settlement conference, that I could also, and plaintiff could assert that I could have defaulted them on this date, could have defaulted the corporation on this date. So in lieu of doing that, I will sign off on the conditional order dismissal.